There's nothing about him that we go, wow, who's that? He looks really tall and strong and handsome and kingly and wow. Like every image in every movie made of Jesus makes him, handsome, right? Who is going to be the one to make a movie with an ugly Jesus, right? Nobody would have the nerve to do that in Hollywood. But what does this verse tell us? He wasn't that good looking. That's really what it's saying. He has no form, no comeliness. There's no beauty about him that would make us go, wow. That's not what drew people to Jesus. It wasn't his physical appearance. There was nothing about his physical appearance that would draw people to him. It's interesting that most characterizations, most portraits of Jesus show him with very Anglo features. Sharp, thin nose, often he's blonde, pretty pale skinned, or maybe a, kind of southern California Hollywood tan. He was a Jew. He looked like a Jew. That's not the description of the physical features of a ethnic Jewish person. Jesus would have looked very Jewish because he was very Jewish. Mother and father from the tribe of Judah, right? Descendant of King David. It wasn't his physical appearance that made people, thousands of people, forget about eating and go out into the desert to hear him speak. It wasn't the way he looked. He was despised, rejected, acquainted with sorrow and grief. Often the images of Jesus that we see, he's very solemn, very kind of the world's idea of holy looking, meaning his thought is somewhere else and he's just kind of in this mystical way. Here it says he was a man acquainted with sorrow and grief. Now, if I was describing to you a human being that I knew, my friend Joe, and the thing I can tell you about Joe is, Joe, you know what? He's acquainted with sorrow. He's acquainted with grief. This guy, Joe, he's despised. People despise my friend Joe. People have rejected my friend Joe. What's the image that would come to your mind from that? That's what the prophet Isaiah is using to describe Jesus.